Yamaguchi, head golf professional at Lake Michigan Hills, and today I'm going to talk about the grip. Now, one of the things we always tell you as a golf professional is how important the grip is, but we never really explain to you why. And so I want to make sure that you understand why. Now, I'm also going to give you a little demonstration here. For a lot of us, if we clap our hands together like this is real comfortable. Now, if I turn my hands the other way, I don't like that. I want to revert back to this because that's what feels comfortable to me. And see, a lot of times when we ask you to make a grip change, I'm not asking you to do something that's physically impossible for you, but what I am asking you to do is something that's going to be uncomfortable, that's not going to feel right to you. And that's what happens when we ask you to change. But if I explain to you why we want to change, then you might be willing to do it. So I have to explain to you how the grip works. You want to think of the hand as a hinge. You want to make sure that hinge is set properly. If you had a door, you want your hinge to line up so the door closes and the air doesn't come in and the door stays closed. So let's think about this. Your left arm is a lever and the golf club is another lever. And you notice how I've got a hinge here. And we want to set it up that way. It's real important. And so I'm actually going to go over three things: types of grips, the importance of the right hand, number 2, and number 3, grip tension and how that can ruin your golf swing. So let's talk about the hinge and the types of grips you want to use. First type of grip I'm going to talk about is a 10-finger grip. Now if you look, notice how much I can hinge my hands with this. You can go way up and down. Now I'm going to use that overlapping grip where my pinky of my right hand is covering my left index finger. Notice that hinge, I can still hinge it quite a bit, but it decreases a little bit. Now, I'm going to interlock. These two fingers are intertwined here. Notice that hinge is not as, I can't hinge the golf club quite as much as I was with the 10-finger grip. And I'll explain something to you about this interlocking grip. It's usually the one I as a teacher don't recommend the most because I know 2 great players who've used it, Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. They do not have a problem with distance. And let me explain to you how important it is to be able to hinge the club a lot. If you look at guys like Bubba Watson and Dustin Johnson today on tour, hit the ball real far, they hold an angle here. And see how much my hands are hinged? By holding this angle here, it's called lag. And that's something that's going to help create club head speed and distance. Now, if I interlock, I hit it short already. I don't want to be much shorter than I am now. So I want to do things to be able to increase that lag as much as possible. So that's the importance of this, being able to hinge that hand. Now I want to talk about the importance of the right hand. You know how you hold the club in your right hand? It's just going to be, see this ball right here? I just want to feel like all I'm doing is pinching something in between my index finger and my thumb on my right hand. And that's how I hold the golf club. And the only part of my right thumb I want touching the club is the side of it right here. Steve Elkington in his book said his teacher used to have him draw a black dot there. That was the only part he wanted to see touching the golf club, was the side of his thumb. If you look real close, you notice that the bottom of my thumb's not even touching the club. Now, why is this so important? I want it to sit against this index finger, right against this joint right here. And what I want to do, it's going to feel like I'm skipping a rock. And if I were skipping a rock, I'd do it with one finger on that rock, just kind of wing it sideways. So a great drill to do to get a feel for how this is going to feel in your right hand is just hold in these 2 fingers and real lightly hold the golf club. And if you notice, it's going to snap all by itself. You just kind of hold it up, swing it back, and let it drop down. And that's the feeling we want in the right hand with the golf swing. So now the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is grip pressure. I'm going to grab these balls here. What I want to do is hold these 2 balls in my left hand. They're kind of across my palm. Just let my arm hang down and hold the balls as light as I can without letting them go anywhere. See, I've got a little bit of freedom and movement in my arm. I want to do the same thing in my right hand between my thumb and my index finger. Now I want to hold them as light as I can, be able to swing my arms real free. So what I want to do is do a quick summary to get a good feel. And remember, we want to have this hinge real important. That's the importance of the grip. And so a great way to get a feel for your grip is just take it in your left hand and feel it hinge up and down. And then experiment. 10 fingers, I can hinge it a little bit more. Overlapping grip. My pinky's covering my index finger in my left hand it's going to hinge a little less, and then interlocking. Now I want to create as much hinge. Most of us need more distance. So maybe we can meet in the middle and do the overlap, but the interlock is going to really make it hard for you to get any distance and some hand speed. Now the next thing, the right hand, the thumb and the index finger touch. And remember, only the side of my thumb is going to be holding the club. So our drill is going to be basically this. We're going to hold it between our thumb and our index finger and swing it without the other three fingers on the golf club. And the club almost swings itself because you can't stop it. And that's the importance of a relaxed grip. And just for our last drill is we want to hold two balls in our left hand, one ball in our right hand between the thumb and index finger. Hold them as light as you can, shake them around, and that's how tight your grip should feel. Now, I didn't get into a lot of detail on the grip like I could because in a lot of books like Ben Hogan's book, it takes up an entire chapter. But this is a simple way to get started on thinking of the grip, and we'll talk a little bit more about why being relaxed is important in the next video. So thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you next time and hit 'em straight.